Hello friends, welcome back to Wealth Guru, and here I am back again with another exciting video. And today we'll be discussing a stock which has been there in the market for a pretty long time, and a lot of you might have invested in the stock. So we'll be discussing in detail whether you need to invest in the stock right now, and if yes, what are the pros and cons in the stock, and is there any better alternatives in this specific segment. Alright, so before that, let's get into some of the disclaimers that I usually give, which is like you should, even if you discuss a lot of this specific stocks, but obviously if you need to invest, then you have to do your own financial research, and I'll be posting some links in the description so that you can go there and do some research before investing in the stocks. Alright, so the stock we're going to discuss today is Jain Irrigation. So Jain Irrigation's posted 5.79 crore loss in the June quarter and revenue up at 2043 crores. So that's kind of a mixed news. It was a positive as well as a negative news, which was good from a revenue point of view, but in terms of profitability, it has improved, but still in the loss. But there's some other news also. Jain Irrigation Systems Limited reports results for the first quarter ended June 30th. They also have like investors have been sitting on almost 70% of loss in the last 5 years period. So if you have invested in maybe let's say in 2017, you might be in a loss still, like almost 70% of loss on this company. And there is a news in June as well, the Jain Irrigation to merge global business Testmac owned Rivelis, stock up 17%. That was in June. So all these are pretty much mixed news, but let's see what the industry looks like. As the industry says, the micro irrigation systems market to exhibit 13% CAGR by end of 2031 due to surging need for water conservation. Future Markets Insight has produced this report. So the industry overall is going to go up at least by 13% CAGR for next 10 years or so. So there's nothing wrong in the industry, and whether this specific stock has some problems. So let's go into its financial positions and just dig deep into what's happening. We all knew that this was kind of a problem in the past, but whether it is recovering out of that, is it a turnaround story or not? So let's go into the details and find it out. Alright, so before proceeding, the market cap of Jain Irrigation is almost 2,374 crore rupees. It has negative P because the stock has given negative results. The book value is almost 61.4 and the current value is almost 38. That means the current market price is less than the book value. And in terms of dividend yield, they are not paying a dividend. But if you look at a 1 year chart, it was almost at 25 way back in 20th August last year, and to move to almost at around 38 level now. But in between it reached almost levels of 52 or 53 almost around end of last year. So that's a story as of last 1 year chart. But if you look at a 5 year chart, the story completely is different because it reached a level of almost 140 plus way back in 2018, and from that level onwards it actually dipped a lot to reach almost a level of maybe 5 rupees or so, but then has moved up to reach almost 38 levels. So in terms of last 5 year chart, if you look at this, the stock has almost depreciated by close to 70% in last 5 years. But in a max chart, the stock has been there for a pretty long time. It reached even levels of 250 way back in 2009 or so, and but it has been steadily decreasing over that. But if you look at this period, this is where actually we think there's a turnaround happening over here. So let's see, and all other details to find out is the turnaround really happening. So for that, let's go into the pros and cons first. The pros is the stock is trading at 0.63 times book value, that's the pros, and the debtor date is reduced to 120 days from 152 days. So that is a positive on the stock. But there has been a lot of cons. The company has low interest coverage ratio. The company has delivered poor sales growth for the last 5 years. Promoter holding is low, 26%. Company has a low return on equity for last 3 years. Promoters have placed 55.4% share in this company. Earnings include an income of 600 crores. So these are all cons, which actually is a problem. And but if you look at the peer companies, then you will see that companies like Astral Pipes is at around 41,000 crores, and that's the kind of the biggest player in the segment. There are companies like Supreme Industries, Phenolics Pipe, Prince Pipe, Responsive Industries are all there, and Nilkamal is also there. Jain Irrigation is placed at around the 8th position, but maybe 5 years back it was almost in the top 2 or 3 in the market. So it has gone down significantly in this industry. Now going into the quarterly results, so this is where we are expecting some turnaround, and if you look at this, the sales have been increasing. So the sales was close to 1300 crores in December 2020, but from that point onwards it has steadily increased to reach a level of 2000 crores, which means it has been increasing at least 30% for last 2 years. But if you look at the operating profit also, that also has been increasing. So from 71 crore rupees it has increased to 260 crore rupees. So like the only problem I see is your interest has also increased. So that is the problem area, the interest has increased. But overall the net profit has been increasing, except for the last quarter there's a problem there, but otherwise it has been increasing for last 2-3 years. In terms of the profit and loss statement also, it has the sales has, as I said, increased, and the profit has increased in last 2-3 years. Now let's look at the balance sheet and understand what is the actually the cash reserves. The cash reserve is 3,500 crore rupees, and the liability is still high. The borrowings is huge. So all these are negatives, and so that could be a problem in the stock. But in terms of cash flows, it is coming primarily from operating activities, so that's good. So overall, the only problem in the balance sheet is continues to be the borrowings, and that is what is the biggest problem on the stock. And finally, if you look at the shareholding pattern as well, even if it has the promoters reduced their stake, but in last 2-3 years it hasn't reduced much. So almost from 28 it has stayed at around 27 or so. So not much reduction out there in terms of shareholding in last 2-3 years. So overall looks good in the last 2-3 years, and it has reached almost levels of 38. So there is limited downside from here, but obviously the potential upside is obviously, I will not say it's significant, but it can eventually go to levels of 50 or so in the next 2-3 months if the market remains constant. So that's pretty much at a high level. Like you have to, if you're investing in the stock and if already have put your money there, so and you have already made a lot of loss, so it's not the time to get out of this stock right now. Rather stay invested in the stock for some time. But if you are coming new to this market or with fresh money, then obviously this is not the stock to go for. There have been a lot of other stocks which has been going on and making a lot of profit, and keep on making videos of those stocks almost every day. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I request you to subscribe to my channel so that you can get such videos almost every day and can get benefit from the market. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. I hope you like this video. If yes, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot for watching.